It was April 5th, and the day obviously sticks out in my head because the day before was the anniversary, the 4-year anniversary of the 3 officers that were shot. I just hung up the phone with my wife, who was going out of town. She was going to visit her best friend. It was a bridal shower, her and my daughter. So I was talking to them on the phone, and I was going to meet them at the end of the Smithfield Street Bridge and say goodbye because they were going to go for the weekend. And I was on Smithfield Street approaching 5th Avenue. I just hung up the phone with them, and maybe a minute later I heard two loud pops. I saw people running, and I knew it was gunshots. I could hear people, they're shooting. As I came down, I could see a group they were engaged. It was almost looked like a rugby scrum. That kind of spilled out in front of the Capitol Grill onto Smithfield Street. One of the individuals had a firearm, and as I was approaching, I had called out with shots fired on the city, and asked for help, and I immediately saw the one individual fire another round. I saw him shoot one of the individuals he was fighting with. When I exited my car, I immediately thought I was getting into a gun battle right away. As I exited my car, I was ordering them to the ground, drop the gun, and they continued fighting. I could see one of the individuals, one of the actors someone was shot. He was shot in his, you could see the hole in his pants, and there was blood dripping out and some blood on the ground. I ordered them to the ground, they didn't, so I grabbed him and placed him face down, wrestled him off of the group, placed him face down on the ground, proned him out, facing like the Capitol Grill. And the other 2 individuals had kept fighting, and I kept verbalizing, stop fighting, get on the ground. I had them at gunpoint. So at that point, they realized I was there. I continued to hold them at gunpoint, and the second actor, who had laid on top of the victim, began to reach his hand towards his waistband. I kept telling him, "Show me your hands, show me your hands," and he tucked his right hand into his waistband area, right pocket waistband area. And at that point, he came up, and I could see him. He was holding a firearm. He had another gun. He didn't come up with it towards me. He kind of went out to the side, and he shoved the gun on the ground and kind of pushed it away. After the second actor discarded the gun, I picked him up off of the ground, off of the individual in the black, and forced him down prone next to the first guy I had. So I recovered that firearm, placed it in my pocket, and called for help and held the 3 of them at gunpoint, with myself between the other gun that was there, the first gun, which was on the ground, and the other 3, and held them at gunpoint until backup arrived. You're out there to protect others and protect and serve. And my concern at that point, not even so much as a concern for them, it's a concern of everybody else. Do I feel like a hero? No. I mean, that's not that day. Not that's not. It sounds, it's just doing my job.